marketers are very revenue focused. So having the entire organization spanning across, like you said, sales, marketing, and customer success, being revenue focused, however, whatever makes that job easier is what we need to do as marketers for sure.
I'm with Wes Leeser. Wes, you're a retained recruiter in marketing technology. We're here at OpsStars today. I've got a passion for marketing operations. You heard a lot about revenue operations. What's your point of view of what you heard today?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway, coming to an event like this, John, is really understanding where revenue operations is going. I mean, we're a week after Serious Decisions. We're at an event in Boston here, and there's over 300 people in attendance for a full day's worth of content specifically around revenue operations. So me being in the talent acquisition space and really trying to stay on top of the latest trends, this is really one that is going to continue to evolve. We just heard the closing keynote talk about the fact that there's no subject matter experts in this space right now. So I think, where we are today, there was a statistic, somebody posted something on LinkedIn that there is, in the last 6 months, there's a 90% growth for revenue operations jobs just posted on LinkedIn alone. So I think that's a really great trend, Bruce, right there.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I heard somebody say earlier that it's a trend of under $500 million of revenue or less. There's a huge impact for having a revenue operations function. And we see a defined marketing operations function at that role. But I think one of the advantages of having this function is it can now span sales operations, marketing operations, and customer experience in a very neutral way if it reports to, say, a CFO. That is not a great trend for marketing operations. You never want to be working for a CFO, but from a single source of truth perspective, I definitely took that away today of having that function of revenue operations as a key backbone.
Absolutely, and I think technology is really the key around it. Just really understanding how we get more efficient in our entire sales and marketing process, right? And that just goes to even marketing today. Really simply, the marketers are very revenue focused. So having the entire organization spanning across, like you said, sales, marketing, and customer success, being revenue focused, however, whatever makes that job easier is what we need to do as marketers for sure.
I heard today 43% of companies now have this revenue operations function. I'm curious from your perspective, from a recruiting perspective, any trends that you're seeing recently? I mean, your market's got to be really, really hot for this skill set. We certainly see it from a client perspective when we're backfilling, but what are you seeing in terms of the full-time placements?
Anytime there's obviously going to be, when you look at the bell curve, right, you're going to have your early adopters, and I still think we're in that phase. From my perspective, I mean, we're still catching up. 2 years ago, there was no request for sales operations individuals. Right now sales ops is a full-blown thing, and so just as far as requests coming in for revenue ops, I haven't gotten as many, but at the same time, I still think companies are really starting to figure out who are we going to have this reporting into, what's the skill set that they need to have. So I think we're still in the infancy as far as just learning about what this whole revenue ops machine can do for an organization.
Yeah, you bring up a great point where it seems like a lot of companies, almost the advice that I heard today from practitioners was bring forth a point of view because it's not really developed out. It's an opportunity for a new person to come in, make a mark, and with data, educate people and kind of change the environment. So I definitely took that away too. Anything else that you're seeing from a recruiting or anything else that you picked up today that you think would be valuable to?
I think that the big takeaway, from my perspective is just even in the last, 5+ years, the evolution of just the intelligence of marketers and really the information that we now have. Our buyers have changed completely, over the course of the past 10 years, and we're just learning as marketers how to evolve with that change. And I think just seeing the sophistication of where, again, it's people, process, technology, the sophistication that I've seen in just the last 5 years is incredible. So I think, from my perspective, a takeaway is I like where it's come, and I'm just really looking forward to see where it goes in the next 5 years. Luck, I guess. I really don't have any other better explanation than that. So, right background, right time, and it's been great.
That's awesome. You came all the way out from Minneapolis for this too.
Yes.
So I really appreciate you coming out, and it was great seeing you.
Absolutely, John. Thanks.
Awesome.